Namaste. So I was telling you all about the symptoms of the Vata dosh, that how can we understand that the Vata dosh is aggravated in our body. So the first symptom is samsa, which means a tearing kind of pain. Many people have this tearing kind of pain in their muscles, which is because of Vata imbalance. Then we say Vyasa, which means convulsions or seizures, which means diseases like epilepsy, where we have convulsions in our brain, all types of neurological disorders, any type of diseases related to gas, where you're farting a lot, where you are burping a lot. These are all symptoms of aggravated Vata dosh. Then we say Vyatha, which means that a hitting type of a pain. Many people have this hitting type of pain in their joints. This is also because of Vata dosh. Then we say Swapa, which means a lack of sensation, like numbness. Many people in their various body parts, they feel a sense of numbness. This is a sign of weakness of the body, which is a sign of aggravating Vata dosh. Then it is said Sad, which means thinning or weakening. So thinning of hair, drying of skin, drying of scalp, suddenly people losing a lot of weight, thinning. This is also a symptom of aggravated Vata dosh. Then we say Tod, which is pricking kind of a pain. Then we say Bhed, which is cutting type of pain. So all types of pain, whether cutting pain, pricking pain, pinching pain, tearing pain, all types of pain which we feel, they are all caused because of the Vata dosh. Then we say Angabhang, which means cracking of the bones. So diseases like osteoarthritis, where your bones have become so weak, that is because of the Vata dosh. Vata makes your bones weak. So Angabhang, this is also a symptom. Then Kampan. Many times you see that old people have tremors in their body. Their hands are trembling. Their legs are trembling. So this is also a symptom of Vata dosh. Then we say Parushya, roughness, dryness, constipation. So see, are you understanding that all of these things which I am mentioning, like all kind of joint pain, back pain, tremors, all of these things, diseases, neurological diseases like memory loss, and all of these things happen in old age, right? So the entire human span, okay, the life of a human is also divided into Kapha zone, Pitta zone and Vata zone. Like in the early childhood, the childhood years, children will only have cough related disorders, like they will have cold, they will have cough, these type of things. Then in the adolescence and puberty, that age, they will usually have pitta related disorders, which means mood swings, anger issues, pimples, blood related issues. These are dominant during those years. And then you have the old age, which unfortunately today starts right from 40, sometimes even early 30s, right? So in the old age, you will have all kind of knee pain, joint pain, back pain. So all diseases related to the Vata type of a diseases, right? So that is how you can understand. In fact, we say that even our body, just like the human life is divided into Kapha, Pitta and Vata, similarly even our human body is divided into the Kapha zone, the Pitta zone and the Vata zone. So this area right over here, okay, this area is Kapha dominant. Now this does not mean that if this is Kapha dominant, the Vata and Pitta are not present over here. No, it does not mean that. It just means that in this zone, the Kapha is more dominant, right? Because we have the lungs over here, cough and cold issues, all of this. But yes, the Vata and Pitta are also present, but Kapha is dominant, right? Then in this zone is Pitta dominant, and then below our belly button, that is the Vata dominant zone. So that is why all diseases related to the gynecology, so any issues with our genital organs, the reproductive system issues, gynecological issues are also because of the Vata dosh. Then all types of knee pain, joint pain, all types of tumors, kidney stones, tumors and stones, these are also because of the Vata dosh. So these are the types of diseases which are plenty. All diseases related to pain, sciatica, spondylitis, knee pain, back pain, joint pain, and everything related to constipation also, related to gas. So basically Vata is the dosh which causes maximum diseases. Maximum. Pitta will cause less diseases, Kapha will cause less, but Vata will cause a lot of diseases. So Vata is a major problem for most of the people, right? Now we will be talking about the Panchakarma for Vata, okay, which is known as the Basti Chikitsa. It is also known as Basti or Basti. Some people use B, some people use V. It is one and the same thing. Now this Basti Chikitsa is known as the king of all treatments in Ayurveda. In fact, in Ayurveda we use the term Ardha Chikitsa. For Basti, we say that Basti is Ardha Chikitsa, which means 50% of the healing is done. If you don't do any of the Panchakarmas, but if you just do Basti, then that alone means that 50% of your detoxification, 50% of your purification is done. Why? Because Basti solves Vata related problems, and Vata related problems are maximum, right? Lot of importance is given to Vata problems in Ayurveda. Like in Charak Samhita, if there is one paragraph on Pitta and one paragraph on Kapha, then there is one entire chapter on the Vata. So that itself tells us the importance of Basti Chikitsa, this Panchkarm, because it helps in healing the Vata problems which we have been carrying for so many years, right? So that is all about Basti. Now, who should get Basti done? Of course, people who are suffering from these diseases which are Vata related, those people should get Basti done, and even a normal person can get Basti done in the monsoon season. Monsoon season is the best time to get Basti done, because in monsoon, even in the environment, the Vata dosh increases. So a healthy person, if he wants to maintain his health, if he wants to purify and repair himself, and sort of, just like how we give cars in service centers, similarly, if you want to just service yourself, rejuvenate yourself, then even a healthy person can do Basti Chikitsa. It is very, very powerful, right? Now let us talk about the process, like what happens in the Basti Chikitsa. So see, Basti Chikitsa is of various types, but broadly we can say that, if you want to categorize, we can say two types. The first one we say as the Snehan Basti, which means that certain medicated oils are inserted through the rectal route, okay? And the other one is the Niruha Basti, where in Niruha Basti certain herbal decoctions are inserted. So in the Snehan Basti, through our rectal route, okay, Basti, as I've already told you that in Basti Chikitsa, certain medicated decoctions or medicated oils are inserted in our body through the rectal route, through our rectum, okay? Why through our rectum? Because it is said that the large intestine, our large intestine is the main seat of Vata dosh. The Vata dosh accumulates in our large intestine. So through the process of Basti, we insert these herbal decoctions or we insert these oils to purify and detoxify, to do the cleaning of the large intestine, to accumulate to clean the area where all the Vata dosh is accumulated, right? So this is the main process of Basti. Now usually the oil Basti is done first. First the oil is inserted to prepare the large intestine for the decoction, for the herbal decoction Basti. And after the herbal decoction Basti, again the oil Basti is done to again make sure that the intestine is fine and everything is normal again. So this is usually the process. They do the oil Basti, then they do the medical herbal decoction Basti, and then they again do the oil Basti. This is what the procedure looks like. And this is very, very different from the normal enema. Okay, many people just do enema in their home. They add some water, they add some soap also. Many times people add soap to it and then they insert it through the rectal route and then they say that we have done Basti. No, this is not Basti. This proper Basti which I am telling you right now, it is the medicated Basti, and that should only be done under the guidance of an Ayurvedic Chikitsa. It should not be done at home. It is very risky because these things, what decoction you have to prepare, how you have to insert, these things should be done very safely, and only then will they be very effective. Okay, if you are someone who just does enema and says that you've done Basti, that is not Basti. Okay, because see, I'll explain it to you why. Because in enema people use water and people use soap. Okay, sodium water they use. Now what have I told you, that Vata dosh is dry. Vata dosh is dry, right? Now if you're inserting soap, soap makes our body dry. Many times if soap has not been removed from our skin by mistake, then also we see that the soap has made our skin dry. So if we are inserting soap over there, then automatically Vata dosh will further increase, right? So don't do these practices at home. Yes, there are certain practices which I myself will be teaching you in this course, like Janu Basti, like Katti Basti, like Shira Basti. All these things you can do at your home safely because they are done externally. I will be telling you how to do it as workshop progresses. But today I'm talking about the main Panchakarma Basti, which is one of the main Panchakarmas. And this Basti, if you want to get it done to cure all of these issues which are long rooted and you've been carrying for a lot of years, and your joint pain, knee pain, these things are not going, then get this Basti done. It will really be a relief. And as per Ayurveda, even a normal healthy person should every year during the season of monsoon, they can get the Snehan Basti, the oil insertion of oil, that they can get it done once every year to maintain their health. So Basti is given a lot of importance, and it is very beneficial if you do it safely, right? Which is you get it done at a Panchakarma center. Now apart from this, I will also be talking about certain other things, simple things which you can do to reduce the Vata dosh. Of course, the number one thing is when you get the Basti done, okay? Now, why do we say this Basti? Okay, this is because, see, many times even if we are taking the rasayans, even if we are doing Lepan Chikitsa, even if we are doing the other things, but our pain is not going away, right? This is because already there are so much toxins that how will these medicines work? So first the toxins have to be removed. That is why Basti is given importance. Many times it is also seen that after a normal person gets Basti done, after someone gets the process, after doing the Basti, suddenly their concentration has improved. Earlier, what would take them 6 hours to do some work, now they can suddenly do it just within 3 hours. So this is the kind of effect which Basti can have on you. Now some of you might ask that Basti which is done in this area, in the lower intestine area, how can it affect the brain? Yes, it can affect the brain. Today modern science is doing so much research where they are correlating the brain power, the IQ levels with your gut health. Because when this cleansing and purification is happening, then the good and pure blood is reaching your brain. Because of this detoxification, this purification process, the good blood, the nutritional blood, the healthy blood is reaching your brain, which is improving your attention span, your focus, your productivity, everything. So that is why after a lot of thought and research, our Ayurveda has prescribed us to do this Basti, and Basti is given the pedestal of Ardha Chikitsa, right? So that was about the Basti. Now I'll be telling you certain other simple things which will help in pacifying the Vata dosh. So it is said that the Vata dosh can be balanced by 3 tastes. These tastes are the Madhur taste, which means the sweet taste, then the Amla taste, which means the sour taste, and the Lavana taste, which is the salty taste, okay? Now first I'll make one thing very clear. You all have joined this course to, of course, improve your health. Then the first thing which you should do today itself is that the Madhur taste, the sugar which we use in our kitchen, the refined sugar which we use is very unhealthy. So switch that to Tal Mishri. You can use Mishri or Jaggery. In whatever curries or whatever sabzis you're putting the refined sugar, stop that use and instead use the Mishri. Use the Sakar, use Mishri, or use the Gud or Jaggery. Okay. This will also be a major lifestyle change and it will help in pacifying the Vata dosh. Then when we talk about the Lavana taste, which is the salt, then I would suggest all of you to switch the table salt which you all use to Sendha Namak or rock salt, because that is healthy. The refined table salt which we use in our kitchen, that is not at all healthy, right? And then Amla tea. So Amla taste, like Amla. If you have Amla juice, this will really help in pacifying the Vata dosh. Apart from this, like I've already told you that, eat on time, eat warm food. See, the nature is dry and cold, right? So you do everything reverse of it. So you eat food while it is hot. Don't wait for it to cool down. Don't refrigerate it. Don't do these things. Apart from this, when we talk about what food we should take, then there is one dal which is known as the kulthi dal or horse gram. That is very good for Vata dosh. Urad dal is very good. Moong dal is very good. So these type of things are good and they will help in pacifying your Vata dosh. Apart from this, I will also be telling you certain other processes. Like I have already told you the process of Padabhyang and Nasya. This is also oleation, right? You are lubricating, you're putting oil to your feet, oil in your nose, which will again help in calming the Vata dosh, because Vata is dry, and as much as you do the Abhyang, You do the Nasya, it will help in pacifying it. In fact, one simple practice which you can start from today is you use sesame oil and you put 2 drops of sesame oil in your belly button. You do this after taking bath and before going to sleep. So do this twice a day. Put 2 drops of sesame oil in your belly button. This will also be very effective in calming the Vata dosh. Usually Vata dosh people are very prone to acidity, right? They have gas, they have bloating issues. As soon as they eat, they feel heaviness, they don't feel easy, they don't feel good. If you're having this type of gas related issues, then what you can do is just before eating your meal, if you're eating your lunch, if before eating lunch, before eating dinner, before eating any heavy meal, just take some ginger, just grate some ginger, put some amla ki taste, which means sour taste. So use lemon, squeeze lemon, and you can also add some sendha namak. Just these 3 things if you eat before every meal, then you will see that automatically just within 2-3 days of this practice, and you have to continue doing this, your gas problems will go away. You will not, that gas and bloating will not trouble you so much. So these are some simple things. And of course, like I told you that as the workshop progresses, I'll be telling you certain other basti which you can do safely at your home, like Katti basti and Janu basti for your joint pain, knee pain, all of these things, right? So continue doing this, and if you are considering to get basti done, then make sure that monsoon season is the ideal time for it to get it done. And today's session was all about the Vata dosh, and we talked in detail about the Panchakarma Chikitsa of Basti, which is very beneficial for healing the Vata dosh. Today's session ends over here. Thank you everyone.